So ever since I started making YouTube videos 5 years ago, I wanted one of these. It's about time I got one. I got a proper video light. So about 1.5 years ago, I tried to make a light. And it's actually right here in the background. See that light up there? It did the job for a little while. But as I get more opportunities and more freelance stuff, I decided to invest in a nice light. So let's open this bad boy up. I already opened the C-stand like a week ago. Alright folks, so we got the pieces in. Now we just gotta assemble it. So, cue the assembly. Here I am, struggling, and it's my own fault. That's pretty big. Grids are awesome, guys. If you don't know what a grid does, it does incredible things. C-stand, light dome, light. Why do electrical lights come with this? You're just wasting plastic. Yo guys, I'm a YouTuber. Welcome to my studio now. I got a cool light. Look at this guy. Very soft and I love it. It feels pretty cool, honestly.
You taught yourself to play the drums.
Alright guys, so this is kind of the studio for now. Over the next week or so, I hope to kind of like rearrange my room and make it more of a YouTuber studio, just because that's like always been a dream of mine, just to have like a creative space that just like looks cool and appealing and isn't so distracting in the background, because this background is just like awful. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about something that several people have talked about before, but I've never really like understood it. And that's the idea of gear. I bought a light today, so obviously I'm a fan of gear. Obviously I like gear. See, back when I was starting, I just wanted the best gear just because I thought that the gear would make me better. But in reality, cheap gear has made me 18 times better than nice gear has ever made me. So the product sequence that I shot for this video of the light of my camera were actually filmed on this camera. See, this is a Canon SL2 24mm lens. This is the camera I shot most of my stuff on, probably from the years 2018 to 2020. So 2018 to 2020 was shot on this camera. It was my first camera with an interchangeable lens, and it's a crop sensor DSLR camera. Most people would call this camera not good enough to make videos with. It doesn't even shoot 4K. Most people would just throw this camera out the window and say it's not worth your time, you need an A7 III to start videoing. I've learned more things by using this camera than by using this camera I'm shooting this video on. Right now I'm shooting on my A7C. So honestly, like, here's my thought for you today. If you want to get good at something, buy cheap stuff. No one's ever said that before. It's definitely a reverse way of thinking, but I wanted to get good at film. I didn't buy a $3,000 camera like the one I'm shooting on right now. I bought this camera that you can probably buy for $400 now. I bought this camera. I learned everything on this camera. And this is the same for every industry. If you want to get good at frisbee golfing, buy some crappy disc and throw those well. And then whenever you get a good one, everything's going to change. You know, you're already going to be good. You're already going to be ahead of the rush. I remember when I joined Wake Up and they were like, you're shooting on this? How are you shooting on this and getting the TikTok videos that you were making? How are you doing that? When you push yourself to work with limitations, it makes you a lot better. It forces you to think outside of the box and make things work, even though you may not have the resources to make it work. So moral of the story is, if you want to get really good at something, don't buy the best stuff. Become the best with cheap stuff. Become the best with crappy stuff. Stuff that forces you to think outside the box, like this camera. That's my thought for today. Hopefully this background is gonna look a lot better later, but right now it looks like trash. So, deuces. Later, guys. I thought I lost the plate to my old tripod, but it was actually on this camera the whole time.